Episode 83. If you had more time per day, what would you use it for?
You're listening to the very best podcast in the world on health, wealth, and happiness. Please remember to leave a review and share with all your friends and family. And here is your host, Lars Hilser.
Hello, big and small people and friends and everybody who's got the insanity to still tune in to the very best podcast in the world, your only source in the universe for personal supremacy through health, wealth, and happiness. If you had more time per day, what would you use it for? That's kind of like one of these quotes I stumbled upon while trying to spread the good news about the podcast on Facebook the other day. And while I was initially contemplating whether or not this was a trigger for one of these what kind of potato games are you? What kind of potato are you games? There we go. That's the proper English, I think. I was like, okay, I scrolled by and you know that moment when you go like, hold on. You know, you lost me here. We got to scroll back and have a closer look at this phenomenon. And on second glance, I found it rather philosophical because it was, as ridiculous as it was, because the day has 24 fucking hours, period. Giving it a bit more thought, you kind of come to the conclusion that the day doesn't have 24 hours only, right? And here's why. So I know a lot of us spend a significant amount of time per day in bed. And so my initial answer to the question was, hell, if I had more hours to the day, I don't know, I'd probably get some more rest because while I can survive over extended periods of time on 4 hours of sleep, it starts to wear and tear on you, and all of those super productive people who try to lull you in to believing that you can survive on that until you die. Yeah, but you fucking die earlier. Sleep is a fucking great thing to do. And so, I value my sleep and I try to get as much of it as I can per day, despite a busy schedule and so on and so forth. So my answer was clearly, hey, if the day had more than 24 hours, I'd probably spend parts of it in bed, just to get more rest, just to recharge my batteries more efficiently and therefore be more productive during the hours that I'm awake. That being said, another thing came to my mind because that was, the utopian kind of idiot answer to an idiot question. Because again, the day has 24 hours and, you would have to get everybody to play along to change it to 26. And that's difficult. And, close to 8 billion people trying to convince that, forget it. So, my second thought was, meanwhile, I was taking a dump on the toilet, taking these thoughts with me. And I said, okay, there's a little bit more truth to this. And I started thinking about what if, you made more of the 24 hours that are available to you. You've got them pretty much tied up. You've got them tied down with your daily agenda, with your sleep cycle and that bit. But, what if you could kind of cut off a bit here and there, making that available and then using that for whatever you want to, free time, increased productivity time, rest, whatever suits your fancy. And as flat as the question was initially, and as idiotic, turn out, if you turn it inside out and upside down, there's actually interesting questions you start asking yourself. So I set out and said, okay, how can I increase productivity even more than I already have? And keep in mind, we've had, I think 3 exercise Fridays now where I tried to convey to you how to increase or to maximize your personal productivity. The last one actually being last week, where we investigated how to increase your personal productivity at work, and that's where the things kind of got interesting. Now, for me, I am a healthy smoker, as a lot of you know. And yeah, these smoking breaks take up not even an insignificant part of my day because, calculate the cigarette smoking itself. Usually I'll have an espresso to it. But while I do that ritual, or while I practice that ritual, normally I'm filling my brain with news or interesting stories, or, coming across articles that inspire me to create a new episode for the podcast. I'll write that down. And then later on, when I'm in my journaling phase of the day, I'll sit down and fill it with life, like this episode. And it's really about finding out, very carefully. That's what I'm going to draw the line under. It's about very carefully analyzing your day and seeing, and, write a list, really. Write down what your normal day looks like and be fucking honest about it. This is not something you're going to do in 5 minutes. It's actually maybe even something you should take as an extra exercise for the weekend. Write down your day, what your average day looks like, with every toilet break that you take, with every cigarette break that you take, with every piece of commute that you do, with every hour that you spend working, with every task that you work on, repeatedly. Are there any minutes that you can cut off, chip off from those tasks and from your day, which will, in essence, A, make you more efficient, and B, allow you to, from the time that you won, that you chipped off other shit that you do, does it amount to an hour? And that's how you actually get more time per day. And look, we even stayed under 10 minutes explaining that son of a bitch. I was actually anticipating I'd be trying to relay the information to you north of an hour because it appeared so complex. But I think actually it's that simple. Sit down, plan your day, and then in the evening when it's journaling time, look at the shit you did and see if there are things, minutes that you can chip off from that time, and then see what the amount of time is that you have as gained time per day. There we go. I think that was in all shortness. We're going to kill the 10 minutes, I think. So anyhow, long story short, send this episode to a friend or a family member that is, stressed out and maybe a bit inefficient in completing tasks, and share this knowledge with them. If you haven't, subscribe to this podcast on www.theverybestpodcastintheworld.com. There are tons of subscription options available for you. We are available pretty much on any service out there. What else? I think that was it. Have a successful day. If you have already, have a good night. And other than that, I will see you again tomorrow. Peace out.